If there is one word to describe the race that began as the firstborn, it would be slow. They were a quiet and peaceful people, originating in what is believed to be the central northern region of the galaxy. As their name implies, they were the first race to awaken in the galaxy. The galaxy they awoke to was not teeming with life as we see today. Instead, it seemed empty, cold, but full of light from ambient stars. Their initial progress was gradual, taking many years to master their planet. Much of the information regarding their slow and steady rise remains unknown to most of the greater galaxy. The name of their homeworld is lost to us in this day. Initially, the firstborn lacked FTL, faster-than-light technology. They colonized the galaxy using great sleeper ships powered by primitive warp space drives. Their advancement across the stars was equally slow. As they spread out and colonized, they realized the need for a workforce that could sustain life and be repaired beyond biological means. This realization led to the creation of the Synthetica, a cybernetic race of AI designed to watch over and develop sleeping colonies of firstborn ships traveling to new stars. Gradually, these colonies and colony ships lost connection to each other over vast interstellar distances. With each world and region developing its own cultures and languages, they likely became independent of each other. The firstborn's efforts were further hampered by the need to terraform many of the planets they encountered. Much of the galaxy was not as habitable as it is today, and many planets had to be seeded and terraformed by the Synthetica on the surface, while the firstborn slept in their ships above. The turning point came with the discovery of the void by firstborn scientists. Realizing they could reach other planets faster than the speed of light, the Great Awakening began. With the centralization and connection of firstborn society, a new era dawned, a golden one marked by significant scientific and cultural achievements. As the first nation was created by the masters and their servants known as the Firstborn Covenant, it spread through the stars at an astonishing pace. Utilizing great stellar engines and drone constructs, they crafted structures of staggering proportions. However, with long lifespans and slow reproduction, the firstborn population was not sufficient for the grand designs of the Covenant. Only Synthetica could be hand-built by firstborn engineers. At the peak of technological development, the Synthetica approached the Firstborn Covenant with a new idea: to create their own servants in the likeness of the Firstborn and themselves. Their first attempt resulted in humans. While the Synthetica considered them a failure for lacking the strengths of the Firstborn and the endurance of the Synthetica, the Covenant took pity on the humans. They encouraged the Synthetica to expand on their genome, leading to the development of the first giants, hardier and larger blue-skinned variants of humans, and the dwarves, shorter and stout variants excelling in industrial environments. However, it was the creation of the elves that would change the face of the galaxy forever. The Firstborn had long since utilized slight currents of netheric magic, but with the attunement of the elves combined with the humans, they discovered something darker and more eldritch, the immaterial plane. In the heart of the hellish netheric realm, a gateway was discovered. Properly tuned to a certain frequency, it opened a portal into the immaterium. A few humans and elves exploring the depths of the realm tried to enter, but none emerged alive. The gateway was brought out of the netheric realm and taken to a firstborn planet for study. For 200 years, the Covenant studied the gateway until they unlocked its secrets, that two gates could be connected to each other, allowing for instantaneous travel. They replicated these gates across their civilization on many worlds, and many remain today. With this new travel technique, the Firstborn Covenant entered a golden age unlike any other in the history of the galaxy. Labor, death, strife, and violence became long-forgotten notions. Science and progress effectively became their religion. However, while these immaterium gates elevated the Covenant to unprecedented heights, they would also be their downfall. Unknown to them, the immaterium harbored darker things than energy. On an unsuspecting tidally locked moon, one such gate malfunctioned. Perhaps the oscillator tuning the gate malfunctioned, or a connection wasn't sustained long enough. Instead of the normal purple light, a cold black static environment could be seen through it, as if nothing was there at all. The overseeing Synthetica was intrigued and stepped through the gateway. When it returned to the lesser races, it was badly damaged, showing signs of considerable physical abuse over the time it had been gone. It asked only one question upon emerging: for how long was I gone? The humans in the observation chamber replied quizzically, "Only a mere few moments." Why? Those were said to be the last words ever uttered by the Synthetica race. After this encounter, many of them simply abandoned whatever tasks they were completing or overseeing. What followed next was catastrophic. For unknown reasons, the Synthetica turned on their creators, beginning what was known as the First War. This conflict would change the face of the galaxy, as weapons of unparalleled destruction were unleashed on each side in a desperate fight for survival. In a twist, the Synthetica, no longer constrained by the laws of the Covenant, began replicating themselves in larger and larger numbers. While the Firstborn utilized the lesser races, they simply could not match the replication ability and efficiency of a machine collective and were pushed back further into the core of the galaxy. As a last act of mercy, the Firstborn sealed away the lesser races of the galaxy on hidden worlds, to one day awake when the Synthetica had been destroyed. In their final act, they unleashed a nanovirus that targeted all forms of technology left in the galaxy. At the brink of victory, destroying them and their creators, the Synthetica faced the last Firstborn retreating deep into the void, waiting until the time was right to reclaim the galaxy. When the races of the galaxy awoke, they found it empty, devoid of any civilization, only the ruins of once great works, native life, and a few immaterium gates that remained.